interesting and long list of hub posts. So I'm going to share my screen. And actually, I'm going to show you, Sarah has to enable sharing.
You should be able to share.
Okay. So, Ian, here's the first one. This guy says, where did this come from? It's obviously a parametric version
Cool.
of the gripper hand. I've never seen a parametric version of the gripper hand. Have you? Do you know where
Nope.
this came from?
Nope.
All right. Well, I asked Patrick if he can give us a clue. Have you gone to any of David Allentuck's Saturday workshops, Ian?
No.
He's doing a really nice job, and it is itself an evolution of the gripper hand. So conceivably, that's where this is coming from, but I suspect not. Okay. That was Rob. Here comes Patrick. Hello, Brian. Nice to see you. Let's just say hello to Brian and Jora Evar Chahal. Brian, have you been with us before? We don't hear you, but it's nice to see you here.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, this is my first time.
Good. Welcome. Where are you from?
New Mexico, Albuquerque.
Oh, cool. Give us a one-liner about what brings you here.
I have a 3D printer and I want to use it for something good.
Well done. Well done.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And Jora Avar Chahal, let's start with how should I pronounce your name?
That second pronunciation was actually pretty good, Jaraver.
Jaraver. Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Give us a little bit of your story.
I I'm heavily invested in musculoskeletal injuries, both from personal perspective, having gone through 4 separate surgeries and suffering through the rehab of those, which gave me a vested interest in prosthetics and exoskeletons, possibly in the rehab space. But I also take an interest pretty mathematically, looking at like musculoskeletal modeling and how that you can actually model prosthetics or exoskeletons to impact cardiovascular efficiency and so on and so forth.
Oh, cool. Where are you located?
I'm in San Mateo. And also like Brian, I have a 3D printer that I now got a full enclosure for, so I'd like to start printing like around the clock.
Excellent.
Nice. So
Yeah.
being in San Mateo, you should look up the e-NABLE Coalition and Anquan and Manlin and Iris, whose e-NABLE chapter is called e-NABLE NorCal. They're doing great things, and they'd be good contacts for you. And
Awesome.
Anquan is a cardiologist, and my guess is that you'll be able to get all geeky with them too. All right, we're finishing up the our what we do during our town hall meetings, and I'm just going to continue to move through posts on the e-NABLE Hub, which is a good thing for newcomers to do. So
the way this works at Town Hall, they go through any request on the hub that has not been answered and try to find the appropriate person or group that might be interested in helping. So this is a list of projects that need assistance.
And Ian, you've done this before, and this is your meeting. Do you want to take the help?
No, you've got it. I'm
right.
here for education geekiness, and this is a great call for the right helpers.
Okay. All right. Vinaya from the Lend a Limb initiative in India is doing all the right things and aiming to bridge the gap between young people passionate about healthcare, etc. We're building partnerships with the rehab centers. That's just the right thing to do across India. I've recently joined e-NABLE. I want to learn about your work, explore opportunities to collaborate. Well, that's all great. And Sarah, you are already inviting her to join us. And I'm trying to remember the name of the Indian fellow who did an internship with us and is now sort of an independent superhero in India working on prosthetics. And when I remember his name, I will try to remember to come back and to make that connection. But Sarah, you're doing all the right things here. So I'm just going to say thumbs up and move on. Okay. Jesse from Ecuador. This is a very active list today. It's another biomedical engineering person volunteering in a foundation. They have a 3D printer, but they don't use it because they don't have time to learn. Look at that. Whoa, okay. Pedro says, this is great. I'm doing something similar in Brazil. Sarah says, great. Sockets, printing sockets. Jesse says, hey, we're going to call it this. Start by addressing everyday is just right. That is just exactly the way to go. Simple assistive devices are great for beginners, beginning relationships, and for beginning relationships. Here we go. And are often more useful than fancy schmancy prosthetics. Keep us posted.
The other thing I would say is like one of our constant themes with the new member education meetup is that everyone wants to design upper limb devices, and that's our highest bar. But there are two other bars. Once you start designing upper limb prostheses and fitting them to people, you realize what people really need is a better doorknob. So we often point people to Makers Making Change to look at other built environment modifications that can help as assistive devices. I think e-NABLE is the wedge into a much broader conversation. And sometimes built environment modification is even more impactful. And the other piece is as you get into this, you realize that we need better systems within e-NABLE. So such as how to triage who helps with these projects.
Well, I wish I had all of that transcribed because it was perfectly articulated, and yet I typed none of it. But there is a transcription, and it's going to be available to Sarah. And Sarah, would you just add that point
Sure.
as another comment after the meeting?
Okay.
All right. Well done, Ian. That was Jesse. So now we go to Tegan. What would it ship? To ship out a box of arms? Peter says it depends on the weight. John Landrino, haven't heard from him for a while, is now working on the Uganda project. That's great. And Sarah says more details about this project. Well, the project, right. The question is, where is Tegan trying to ship? Tegan, what is your target destination? Just see if we can get more detail. Gary Dog. I haven't had a dog on the seminar for a while. Yes, there have
There are
been.
some great dog wheelchairs
Yeah,
that sort of have like a net that hold the
yeah,
chest of the dog and then have parametric
that's right.
wheels that can be sized.
I agree. And that didn't do it. Okay. Um, there are some great dog wheelchairs out there, some 3D printed, and all apparently enjoyed by their canine owners. Um, we could do a very quick look for dog 3D printed wheelchair. It may not be the right word, but there it is. Wow. Okay, we can give a link.
Those are Etsy production ones. There's a pretty good one that we've worked with on Instructables somewhere. I'm looking.
Okay. Can't embed. I don't want to embed it. I just want to put it. I guess I can't even do that. We'll give some specific adventures. There's one on Yegi, or a handicapped dog cart remodel. Oh, that's a good look at that video. That tells the whole story right there. I wonder if we can copy the image link and put it right in.
It does look like there's actually even more now that are being sold as commodities, undercutting like the metal ones. Uh, but this is asking for an attachment. I don't know many. I've never done an attachment. I've only ever done like the two-wheel version.
Well, yikes. My computer's just had a
I
hiccup.
think one thing that's really important with working with dogs is to have a vet in the loop. Like we don't work for
Right.
animals, we work for vets. And making sure that the sizing takes more
Sure.
iterations because it's not just like fit to the animal's physiology, it's making sure that the gait works with it, which often takes a couple more tries.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Let me just see if I can't recover. There we go. Just one example.
Oh, I would
Okay.
also check, a good question is it front or back? Because there's
Yes, of
different
course.
stuff. Yeah.
Um, uh, does tripod, uh, is tripods missing leg front or back?
This is the best
Uh,
front one that I've seen that we've had a few vets like.
you say this because you put
I
something
put
in
it
the
in the
chat?
chat. Yeah, that's the Instructables
Great.
one.
Cool. Um, and Ian recommends this one for front leg.
What's nice about this one is it's pretty easy to size. It's modular.
Cool. Looking at it now. Wow. There's an action photo. That's really cute.
Yeah, the dogs end up getting too fast. It's got a little kickstand that initially stops you from falling backwards and like slumping in it, but
Huh.
within a week you need to move that to the front so they don't go head over heels.
Isn't that interesting? Okay. Okay. Back to business. That was Gary Dog. Here's Logan, EMG. I think we've had a presentation from Logan in the past. He's made
Yes.
progress. He's decided to move away from AI vision and is now working on EMG. And let's just see what we got here. Whoa.
that's super cool.
Nice. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Dynamite. This is, frankly, one of the first robust steaming homemade EMG rigs I have seen. Would you agree with that, Ian?
Yeah, without using like a third party sensor, like the
Right,
Mio armbands.
right. It's great. Do I recognize Logan? I do. I do. Okay. Shrey, technical difficulties. Yeah, badges and badger. What's the advice, folks? Our badging system is currently on hold. So listen, do we have a sign up on the badging system so that we're not just inviting people to get frustrated?
Is Jonathan here? I see
He
Jonathan
was
H.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Um, no, I don't know how we would put one on either. Some sort of sign to say something.
Um,
I mean, I don't know how many people see them, but I can pin an administrative post that just says, "Hey, everyone, badging system is on hold." I'm
It could be
sure.
a call to action. Hey, and we are looking for a volunteer who might want to manage it. John is
Can I
always
just
good
say,
at trying to find the recruit.
can I just say, I managed to get like the initial badges from syncing my account just fine. So I didn't realize there was a problem. I managed to get Badger to work just fine with my account.
well, my guess is that you went straight to Badger, which I guess is still in business, but the API between the hub and Badger is the problem.
I see. So
That's
you're
my
saying,
guessing on our badge system. But you were able to get genuine e-NABLE badges by going directly to Badger.
well, I can look at my account right now and just see
That's
my
great, Trevor.
badges.
Please.
Let's see. Ah, okay. I see. The please sync with Badger system. That might be what you're talking about. I understand now.
Yeah, it got complicated because Badger turned over to a new company called Parchment, and then they wanted a big subscription cost, and then they decided it was free again, and there was a bunch of API issues.
Yes. Okay. I can actually confirm this guy's problem. I understand it.
Okay. All right then. Um, okay. Sarah, would you pop a note to Masvi? He will certainly know how to put a sign on the form that people are filling out, only to be frustrated.
Uh, sure.
Okay. And you can, here's the link. Well, you have the link. That's for Shrey. And finally, Wajed. We are three. We want to design something. We want to improve it. I think they should connect to David Allentuck. Is leading a design collaboration these days. Reach out to him. Okay. All right, I am officially handing the reins over to Ian Roy of Brandeis University for our regularly scheduled e-NABLE education meeting.
Thanks, John. This was great for new people to see. And so this is a combination of our new member meetup, which is like how to get started with e-NABLE, how to get your printers and machines running happy, how to navigate the whole ecosystem, and our education meetup, which is sort of more focused on classroom uses, like the pedagogy of how you can do a project with e-NABLE, or like sort of the institutional plugins, like how do you get a campus club going? How do you get a campus makerspace or school or community makerspace engaged? And usually what we do is we go around the room and introduce ourselves, sort of what brought us here, what our interests are, and where in the world you are. And my name is Ian Roy, and I am right outside of Boston, Massachusetts, at Brandeis University. And my team runs the makerspaces, and I teach at the intersection of engineering and business. And our big thing that we're working on, we're scaling up our first engineering major in 2 weeks. So we've been launching an engineering program here. We're the only R1 university without one. And that will change in the last week of August. And we are launching a big new active learning classroom. And why this matters for e-NABLE is we generally have about 20 students a semester doing like a Phoenix V2 hand build. And we had done V3 where we moved to V2 because they fit them to themselves. And the V2 has a bracket that's easier if you don't have an upper limb difference to attach to. And it's less about fitting to an individual and more about understanding open source hardware and software. But as a result, we end up producing about 10 e-NABLE hands a semester, and we're always looking for a good home for those. And often they've been going to international makerspaces, sort of like as a menu of what e-NABLE can do as they're starting up. I do think there's a trend to people to just want to make a box of hands and ship them somewhere as a one and done. And I think the most useful thing I can find to do near that with a generic hand is this is what we can make, but it requires customization and feedback loops. And then the highest bar that we'd really like to get to with a lot of these projects is sending a machine and material to the point of need and having them be able to make their own stuff. One step back is having a back and forth where the maker and the recipient can give feedback over time and then get into the designing a better doorknob conversation or parts as they make. So I'm curious what sort of brings everyone here and what we could steer the conversation around. And I know if we have less other topics, Jonathan and I always get into geeking out about 3D printer hardware and settings, which is also very exciting for us. Oh, sorry, you're muted, John.
Sorry about that. Let me just say that Roffley is here, and during the last session, we saw that he has produced an interesting adjustable split. So since he's here, if he's here, he might be able to tell us a little bit more than the still photograph indicated. That's an invitation, Roffley. Back to you, Ian.
Yeah, Roffley, we'd love to hear about what you're working on.
He's here. We would probably need video to go beyond what's already been visible in the picture that you put on the hub. All right.
No worries if that's not possible. We can also like hear from you, yeah, whenever you're ready. We also have Jana. I don't know if we've heard from you yet.
Hi, Ian. It's Tom. I'm using my
Tom.
wife's account.
Tom, great to hear from you. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, real good. I just got done traveling across the eastern United States for about 3 weeks. I delivered 2 of those TMTs to some remote areas that were long and waiting for them. They were well received. And I know I wanted to talk with you more, maybe offline, about talking about the TMT, the child wheelchair with you and your class projects.
Yes, that has been such a hot topic.
Sounds
We haven't
good.
made one yet, but we've been talking. It's been passed around from a couple of different groups,
Right.
trying to
I got
find
a
the
lot
right
of,
opportunity.
absolutely. Got a lot of lessons learned for that. But if you want to talk sometime about it, I'd be
Let's
glad to.
totally have a conversation. Shoot me an email, let's book a time, and I'd love to hear about what you're doing with it.
Sounds good.
You
All
could
right. Thanks,
also,
Ian.
if you want to tell the group about what that project is, it's very in the sphere of e-NABLE as another very great open source hardware initiative.
Absolutely. So 3dmobility.org. I also are part of the Make Good organization. They create multiple devices to help people in daily lives, but one of the biggest ones that I'm involved with is the TMT Toddler Mobility Trainer. It's targeted for children ages 1 to 8, up to 80 pounds. It's basically you can 3D print all the parts for little wheelchairs out of PETG and some TPU. All the files are provided, and you can affect people's lives in a big way. So the guys with new printers, you want to help out, might be something you want to look into. It takes a few weeks to print because it's 20 something plates. But once you're done, you can put it all together. And the website is very organized where you can find people in need, select it. There's a process to go through to show that your printer is capable of printing the devices. So you can get certified for that. And then you can select people to help out, and then you meet up in public areas, drop off the wheelchair, and then move on. Ideally, down the road, the organization will have it where they'll provide the materials and kits, so you're not paying out of pocket. It runs about $200. I've had multiple people donate to me cash that went right to printing chairs for people. I hope if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at it's on this e-NABLE email, or it's miller77z@gmail.com.
Thank you so much, Tom. And I really want to see some of the pictures of how they're fit and what colors you use and the challenges you've encountered.
Absolutely.
This is we don't do as much like lower limb facing things because they're complicated. This is a great solve for that. And a very robust looking open source design.
And I have a picture of it here. So I'm going to share my screen for a moment. So there you go. So it's a big piece of work, but they are doing a great job of mobilizing the 3D printing community to produce them and assemble them and deliver them.
So I also wanted to circle back. So we had heard about 2 new people here who have gotten printers and trying to get involved. And if either of you want to jump in, maybe we could hear about where you are and where we could answer questions or help.
So I'm Brian. Like I said, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bought a 3D printer about 2 months ago, and just been practicing printing, little figures and devices. Nothing real complicated, but I had seen people make their own prosthetics, the hands, and I didn't realize e-NABLE was an organization. So that's why I came here today to learn how to do that. I have very basic skills, but to learn more about this, or at least contribute more to this, would be great. I'm not an engineer or anything like that. I'm an IT guy. So
That's
very
excellent,
cool.
though. That's a perfect background to get into this. And there's a recommended device catalog on the e-NABLE hub, but we also have it mirrored on the NIH 3D Print Exchange here. And I would recommend getting started with one of these. And I always recommend that you try to fit it to yourself and print it big, like 150% scale or larger. And I would recommend As a first hand, the Phoenix hand is a great starter. The Kinetic hand is a little more difficult. The Kwawu is also similarly a little more complicated. But just building through one, seeing the challenges, you can print your first one in PLA, but they are a little more robust in PETG. And there's some really great assembly videos linked on both here and on the recommended devices part of the hub.
Okay. The other question, the question I had, because I have a Solval version 6. I don't know. I didn't see the recommend. I hadn't gotten to this recommended printing devices, but I have a Solval 6. It has like a 300 by 300 millimeter print space. Yeah, I can do PLA and also PTAG
and has a forever upgrade pathway that's really exciting.
yeah. So but anyways, what I was gonna, I just derailed myself, sorry. But by doing those, I was just are there like recommended settings and like nozzle size? I know there was like a 0.2 millimeter.
So we're basically at 0.4 for all the stock stuff.
0.4.
You could print thicker layers and get a little more adhesion surface, but I think a 0.4 is pretty standard, and you can use your standard material settings in the slicer or on the spool, and will vary by humidity and environment, plus or minus.
Yeah, there's no humidity here.
That's good. That's good
Well,
for the
actually,
plastic.
I take that back. It's really humid today. We have above 50% today, so it's kind of unusual for us.
But I would so if you were just looking for like abstractly where to start, I would start with the Phoenix V3. Figure out your build plate, do 150% scale. The nice thing about these is one of the problems with these files is that not all of them are parametric, and there's like 500 plus designs. So sometimes when you scale up, the screw holes change and you need to find new screws and hardware. What we like about the beginner space of the Phoenix sets are they print their own hardware, and the hardware scales about right. You might need another couple percent on the hardware to adjust, but the pins are quick and they do come with the files. They're not, as a result, they're not as mechanically robust, but it will really teach you the pluses and minuses of the platform and how to navigate it. And you can use it for that badging system. So you can make a video of it in action to do the matching through the hub.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the only thing because I know you mentioned Tinkercad on your website too. Yeah, I'm not like good at designing or anything just yet because that's still pretty new to me. But I use like OpenSCAD and would that be also
code based? Totally. For starters, you can do all your scaling in the slicer. So you can just open the files directly in your slicer of choice. But what slicer are you using?
Orca.
Orca's great. We would recommend that.
I love it.
So you can do all of your scaling and skewing a little bit. I would honestly just 150% scale everything right in Orca, default PETG or PLA settings, and send it. And you're going to have somewhere around 24 hours of print time.
Yeah, that's I was kind of expecting. So that, because I know some of they had like something like 6 build plates, I believe.
Yeah.
For the Phoenix, was it for the Phoenix?
It might only be 3 on yours. I bet you could get it in 2 because it's so big, but not
maybe.
Crazy. There's one stage.
I'll give it a whirl.
The one thing to look at is there is a thermal forming step. And so the official guides will have you heat water really hot and put the plastic in it. And then it has like a jig or a fixture that you like bend around. And that works. But when we do that in a classroom with like 20 plus people, we don't want to have tubs of boiling water everywhere. And we have soldering equipment. So if you do have like a soldering like heat flow, we sometimes use that hot air instead of using boiling water. The point is you just have to heat the plastic so that you can form it nicely.
Okay, so something like a heat gun would work too?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
But start at a distance because there's a transition where it goes from malleable to soup, and you don't want to get to the soup stage.
Gotcha. Yeah, I figured I'd probably burn myself in the process too.
Also that.
And then the most complicated stage, I think, is the stringing, like how you move all the wires through the palm. That will take you a little bit. And there's a particularly good video that has a screen for a moment where it shows the pathway of the string. That's very helpful.
Okay. And that's on the site too, right?
Yeah, it's linked. It's linked both on the hub and on the NIH resources.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right.
And if you get stuck anywhere, at any of us, and we'll get you unstuck.
Gotcha. I appreciate that. All right. Thanks.
The other warning is do not put support materials into the cavities on the fingers and the palm, because then you have to dig them out because you create channels for the cable to go through. So you want to make sure those print clear, either with support blockers or no supports.
Okay. I'll remember that because yeah, I just ran into something similar like on a different print for a gift, and well, I broke it.
Yeah, the post-processing can be brutal.
Yeah. Cool.
And
Thanks.
you can locally source all of the materials you need. Window blind cable is particularly good. There are some kits you can buy. I don't know what the stock is currently, but just a trip to the local hardware store will get you the couple pieces that you need.
Okay. And for the hard when you mentioned hardware, it's just,
All the hardware is printable. You'll just need some string and maybe some like padded foam to make the human interface a little nicer.
okay. Okay. That's good to know.
What else am I missing? Anyone else in the room that's familiar with this? Any other tips?
I can speak to that because I have now built not only one Phoenix hands, but two in different sizes.
Nice. Oh, you have a 100% and like 140 or 30?
Yeah, so and this is where I was actually going to talk about I'm really glad I joined this call because Ian, you've got a lot of tips that are a little vague on the website for how to actually get like a badge, a printed hand for a badge done. One of the things is I printed this at 130%, and I actually talked to Dylan on the forum who also had a problem with 130%. There's not a great screw size that actually works for the tension.
Yeah.
And he said that at 100%, he at least could get the right screw exactly as it's prescribed. Um, Mind you, the kits are out of stock. And so
Yeah.
I've just been trying to reference the kits, what comes in the kits to figure out which screws to get. But I decided to not even go ahead with this print and just build it at 100% so I could just get the size 8 Chicago screws that would
Yep.
just, go into the tension. But you've mentioned a lot of things here that I feel like would be good to put on the website as just
We
like
need
this
to
is how
do
you
another round of documentation too. And
I
I
mean,
think syncing the doc across, because there's very like as a next hand, if you're like already having success on those, if you move to the kinetic, wow, documentation. That's like the model for a properly documented open source piece of hardware. It's very
okay,
good. It is a little trickier because you have some TPU joinery. It doesn't have all of the mechanical strength of some of the other models, but it's aesthetically nicer. It's functional. It's got great doc.
perfect. Yeah. I mean, I know the nightmare of documentation. Live calls are always the fix to that,
Hmm.
but getting it back there is always the problem. Anyway, I
Yeah.
haven't yet printed with PETG. The last time I tried to flip a nozzle from, I think it was like a 0.1 to 0.2. When I brought the Ender 3 like a year ago from someone
Yeah.
off Facebook Marketplace. So I've been going through like the upgrade
Yes. The infinite
sinkhole.
upgrade path. Yes.
Yeah. And the last time I tried to switch out the nozzle, I forgot to heat it, and then I actually broke the nozzle in half in the heat block, and I
Yep.
had to change out the whole thing. So a little hesitant to work through that just now. Still a beginner in terms of like actually modding the 3D printer the way I needed to.
One
Um,
of the nice things about the Ender 3 platform is you can buy that whole heat block for under $20.
yes,
So
that
if
was it was cheap. I was glad that whatever I was about to invest in was replaceable.
yes,
So it was.
definitely. I love that platform because it is so manual and the parts are like they're fast ship and they're less expensive.
Yeah. So I think the main thing is now I've just ordered the like wiring and stuff. I have to just drop by Home Depot or Ace Hardware from some of the screws.
Yep.
But I'll be figuring out how to get a badge, or I was trying to figure out how to get a badge. I don't know if you guys still do the badging given the like sync issues. I wanted to just confirm that I could get a badge or that it was useful for me to finish all the way through with the project before, doing other things.
What do people think about the usefulness of badges this month?
Well, there's a good question.
I do think that if you go to the town halls, the point of the badge is to match with people and to find real need that you can connect with. And you can also do that through the town halls.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it felt like, well, I did want the badge in order to say like, hey, I can properly print stuff and you're matching with someone who has the expertise necessary to produce what you want, not just willy-nilly.
The
Well,
third-party
that's right.
validation is really good. Yeah.
Right, Gerard. The third function is to sort of create a series of challenges that people could follow for sort of self-guided learning. But none of that, like a lot of e-NABLE, that whole thing has sort of become like an overgrown shrub. The skeleton is there, but the function is now reduced. The good news is that Anquan and Manlin and who are really the new leaders of the organization are rethinking all of that and engaged in a redesign. They come to some of the town hall meetings these days. They come to some of the education meetings. Ian, have you had a chat with them yet?
I have not, but I'd love to. That's definitely on my this fall. We got to sync.
Okay, that's overdue. Sarah, help me remember, or just do make the introduction to Ian as one of the e-NABLE mainstays who they should really compare notes with. Everybody will get along, but Gerard, we are aware that the systems are somewhat rickety, and the new leadership is actually taking a fresh look at all of that.
And just so I know the names better, who are these two individuals? Kwon and
I'm writing his name, Anquan, Anhquan. He is a cardiologist who is also the coach to a spectacular first robotics team. And he's one of these guys who must not sleep at night because he's doing really excellent work in many different areas. But he's sort of thinking about how do we take e-NABLE to the next level and how do we clean up a lot of the cruft that's accumulated. And his partner in that venture is Manlin, and I think it's a Zhang, who is a former student of his and now a computer science student somewhere in Northern California. And if you search for those names, you'll come across them on the hub. And if you look at our YouTube channel, you'll see that they've been at a number of meetings, and they're now beginning to show off a possible next version of the website and so on. They are the new wave, and I am very happy that they're on board.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
And John, this is Tom. I've been kind of plugged in with those guys. They don't have a new set of meetings yet, for everybody. But these meetings have been fantastic. With Ian running them, we get to geek out, talk about printers, techniques, learn some basics, Brian. It was in your spot. I've broken nozzles off net Ender 3. That was my first printer. But these phone calls are invaluable. The town hall ones are really cool to see the different projects. That's a half hour before this one. And Sarah's done a great job of keeping people informed. So hopefully these will go for a while yet, and we can all keep getting information.
And these are particularly good if you come with like a problem or a solution to talk about, a project to talk about, problem you're facing. We can really like groupthink and debug through it. And if no one comes with a topic, we end up just like looking at all of the new hardware coming out and talking about what we're using. And I think the knowledge in the room, like Jonathan just left, but he is a full-time digital fabrication expert with some really hot rod machines. We got people that run individual machines they mod. We've got people running institutional level stuff. So it's really like, this is the hardware and software geek hangout.
Sweet. That is music to my ears. I mean, also, for example, I wish I would have known. I mean, I guess I'm at home, boiling water is fine, but I've got a full soldering setup too. I could just, use to
Well,
all
and I
those
got a
like
hack for you. So my fault for not releasing, but we had a student, an amazing TA who now works for the NIH, who used Rhino to take the jig, the fixture that you bend over, and he made two negatives that you can sandwich together. And if you print them at like 80% infill in PETG and you're printing in PLA, the heat mass of the block doesn't really get hot under the reflow iron. And then the PLA gets a little bit of sag, and then you smush it, and you get a much more normal radius.
Interesting.
And for him, that was like a half-hour little project, but we should release those files as like when we update some doc, you could do the water version, you could do the soldering version. And if you want that, if you email me, I can like attach it. We just haven't like posted it somewhere with a guide.
That would be awesome.
And there's Ian's email in the chat.
Oh yeah. And Rothley, it looks like you're there now. If you want to show us, that device looks awesome. You're going to talk us through sort of what you designed it for and how it works. It looks really cool.
Oh, so thank you so much for that. You know, sorry, John, can you replay your question?
Oh, if you could talk us through what the device you were talking through, you showed something to John. We wanted to just hear a little more about what it was and how you built it.
Ah, okay. So
we saw. All right.
First, I get the patient from my doctor because you know the first time I make like how to say that I don't have a name for the the tools, like you know, patient don't have a tendon. Maybe in English you say tendon.
Yes.
Okay. The patient don't have a tendon in the carpal, so he can open his hand like normal people. So he need to get to up his hand for he can open his hand like this. So I think I can make something for him. So I'm trying to searching in internet and I get the idea. So I'm trying to make the tools. I'm inspiration by how to kinetic hand. How to kinetic hand working. You know, like he have a string in here, like that's for tendon. So I'm trying to apply to my new project. So yeah, that's great. That's make me can wait. I'm sorry.
No, very cool.
It's
But the
so hard
logic
for me.
of having some rubber bands in one direction and then some strings to resist the rubber bands in the other direction, whether that's close open or open close.
Yeah, like that. So that's
Very
why
cool.
For the dynamic spleen, I'm trying to make something like that, but you know, but the case very different because the one patient because he's don't have tendon, and the two patient he's because he's have a stroke. Like so
yes,
I make the spleen for for his training, and you know, like we try to make a patient don't have a complicated like how to say in English, maybe you saying a contractor.
Yep.
Yeah, so he can still make his hand like this, because if his hand like this for a long time, this will make his hand contractor. So I'm trying to help him for still make his hand not get a contractor.
Yep.
Maybe just
Uh,
that. Can I stay? I'm so sorry, guys, because my
No, I
English so
think-
bad.
No, it's amazing. Your project sounds amazing, and you're taking the design logic of the open source hardware system and adapting it to a hyper specialized use case, which is really cool. I think that's the magic of e-NABLE, that we can all take the devices and map them to individual physiology or individual occupational use cases, like helping people do something.
It's not an uncommon case. It's a common situation for people who have strokes that their hand tends to clench and it becomes a real problem. We tried to address that 15 years ago, but our solution was too weak. From your picture, I can see that you have a strong enough device that it may actually do the job. So I encourage you, so please keep us posted. Please let us know how it goes and how the patient likes it or not.
Of course, of course.
And when you're ready to have people try it, we could have someone from our Maker Lab like follow your instructions and give you feedback on how it works for someone else to try to fabricate it.
Yeah. One day I think like maybe I want to make something like a little team for make the how to say maybe like a experiment for journal like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when you're ready
if
to write it up and test it, we're ready to
for
give
now
you
I'm
helpful
trying
feedback.
to get the data from the patient for
Yes.
make a journal.
Very cool. Well, good luck,
Yeah,
and feel free to reach out if you get stuck, you need feedback, help, an idea, you just want to practice talking through your idea. We're ready to help in any way we can.
thank you so much.
Where in the
Thank you,
world are you
Roughly.
calling in from?
Congratulations.
Where in the world are you calling in from?
Roughly is
I'm
in
from Indonesia.
Indonesia. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it's very late. It's
Roughly,
very late
and
there.
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, Roughly is a medical student, or his partner is a medical student, and they're doing excellent work. And they applied for a small grant, and we helped them get the 3D printer that they're now using to do this good work.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. I'm a medical student, so that's why I can get the patient, like, because that's my privilege
Very cool.
That's great.
for medical student.
What type of machine are you using?
For now I'm using Ender 3V3 SE, and I'm using Reality K2.
Yep. Very cool. Well, good luck. I can't wait to see where your project goes. Definitely keep us updated on the hub as you progress.
Of course, of course.
We're in our last 5 minutes. Wanted to give anyone else an opportunity if they have a thing they want to discuss. And just a reminder, this meeting happens once a month. And in between, you can always reach out if you want to do a Zoom or get some feedback.
I just want to really quickly post my email in the chat. If anyone has any questions, I don't have an engineering background, so I might not have the answer, but I will be able to connect you with the person who does. And so my email is there, and I have to leave exactly in 5 minutes at 1. So I'm sorry if I leave abruptly.
I also have to
but
jump
it's
to a
been-
next thing, but this
yeah.
has been a great conversation. And Sarah organizes all of this. We would be nowhere having no meeting without Sarah's effort.
And
Thank you.
one geek item, on Kickstarter, there's a new 3D printer. It's a
I saw this
Sobol
link you sent. Very
M1D.
cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very cutting edge. The only issue is it has 2 print heads in the build volume. I think the build volume is 300. It's got an index tool for up to 7 different filaments, 1 dedicated to the one head, and then 6 that can be selected with the index tool. The nozzle goes to 300 degrees on both, so you can't really get into engineering type filaments, but the concept is fantastic. And the price point it's much better than the bamboo, their
And
index.
it looks like a Snapmaker U1 with a second nozzle like the bamboo
Right.
new machine. Yeah,
Right.
very
It's
cool.
just something interesting I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. They had the Kickstarter going off. It's good for 13 more days. But anyway, it still looks like it can compete with the Snapmaker U1, which I'm very happy with right now. But I just wanted to geek out a little bit there for
Very
you.
cool. Yeah, and a combination with an X2D, correct? Sort of logic.
Right. Right. Mhm.
I'll put those two in here. And those are definitely like two of the nicer machines available today. And you've sort of gotten really good results with that Snapmaker, it sounds like.
I have, yeah, able to print TPU, soft filaments, and then the whole plethora of the harder stuff.
We are in an existential moment deciding between Prusa and Bamboo for our next wave of upgrades. And it's hard because we really like the open source nature of Prusa, but their market share is so small, it's no longer what our students are seeing in industry or in grad schools.
Mhm.
So, but then it's like the counter argument is, but can't you, once you learn one slicer and machine, it's sort of an analogy to all slicers and machines. And that's something that if we had more time is the type of thing we dig into in these conversations. There's like the ethics, the socioeconomics, the pricing, the pipeline, the what you see
The
everywhere else in the
Culture
world.
wars. Yeah.
Yes. And I still think I love the Ender 3 as a platform because it is the stick shift of 3D printing. And everything is so automatic now. I want to be able to set it and it does what I tell it to.
Well, you know what they say about manual transmissions, right? After a while, it becomes automatic.
Yeah.
I level bed like a dream now,
Yep. Well, and then as you move on to like some of these modern printers that do it for you, and when it goes right, it's great. But when it goes wrong, it's a lot harder to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, a pleasure to see you all. Thank you for what you do. See you in a month.
Everybody.
Good luck, happy printing, and we'll announce our next one about a month from now.
Good luck, Brian. All you guys, welcome.
It's great to meet everyone.
We'll see y'all later.
See you.
Everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.